evening. There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services.
Jen and Jay.
402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com
which is
get started.
Problem gambling.
Where do you want it?
Individuals' finances, relationships, physical.
Gotta make the sandwich.
If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300.
Well, there's some
402-476-2300.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For
Just
years,
you
I've suffered
being
from
you.
degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options,
You're an athlete. You're
Advanced
ready
Medical
for this.
Imaging
We can
were there to
trust you.
answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them
Good
a call.
level?
402-484-6677.
Good level. That's good.
Advanced Medical
That's
Imaging
good. Go up.
located at 7601.
Take mine up a little.
Boulevard.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for We'd like to say
it
thank
is.
you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off.
Oh,
2024 with
she's
the
a coach.
bang. We've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did.
No,
Plus,
thanks for
trade-in
doing
bonus.
this. This
Get a
is
stock number
good.
G206684.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS.
I'm going to bust your chops about your music selection.
Service.
Mine?
Oh, yeah.
Bumper to bumper.
Yacht rock?
Vehicle like
Yacht rock?
doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-834 and HIS Auto will make you proud to do. 5% off. Mention this ad, and for sure your mother be proud you called. 402-488-8934.
We can't have that.
HIS Auto Care,
Volleyball
70th
is
and
a
Van Dorn.
rocker.
God bless you.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south
she needs
side
the one with the Hall of Famer.
on the corner of 20th and N
Yeah,
Street.
she doesn't need the other guy. She
Group
needs the Hall of
hangout
Famer.
or a relaxing
Yeah.
night. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
Hello, everybody. It's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I hear that new Honda manufacturing continues to go up, and you have new Hondas in stock now.
That's correct, Charlie. We have more than 40 new Hondas in stock right now. It's great that a customer can come in and buy a new Honda and drive it home.
Yeah, we found each other, and
it keeps getting better each month.
we had to travel to Lincoln, Nebraska to find each other.
Cars,
And
Andy.
We have more
from
than
DC.
100
We were
pre-owned
born
to choose from
20
right
miles
now,
apart.
and a lot of fresh trade-ins
Yeah.
are coming in daily. We have just about every maker model you can imagine.
Rico, check this out.
and any price range.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and
Yeah.
great service at Honda of
Still
Lincoln.
nothing.
Maybe
Still nothing.
it's time you come experience
nothing.
the Honda of Lincoln way
Try,
of doing business.
try.
27th
There
and
you go. A little bit more.
online at
There's the right level. There
HondaofLincoln.com.
you go.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at the Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and
Tell me with my tongue
affordability
out.
meet.
Really,
Downtown
bro?
at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
You know there are rules against that.
Landmark
Yeah.
Implement, your local John Deere
Yeah.
dealer, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the
Yeah.
Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, January 31st through February 1st. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, exact apply sprayers, and more. Free dicamba certification will be available. Join Landmark at their sprayer clinic January 31st and February 1st in Kearney. Find more information at landmarkimp.com/events.
Orlando on Friday.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Wednesday, Jay Foreman DP, and we have a very special guest, Jen Spiker.
Here is CEO, runs everything for the volleyball league. We're up here at CHI. We're just hours away from the first match with the Omaha Supernovas. We are brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop. Two Lincoln locations, 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill. Without further ado, I want to say welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome to Nebraska. And, you know, I would think time is everything, right? Because about a week ago, we were like 50 below, right? And I know you're from Detroit, so, you know, you're used to yeah, that's true, right? And so you're bringing some good luck. And, you know, I always say, you know, from my experience playing football, and obviously you played volleyball, from ownership and leadership standpoint, I think some of the best teams that are running in the NFL have some sort of experience in it. So you being a former volleyball player, 30 years in corporate America. I mean, listen, you talk about
You're aging me, Jay. You're aging.
Well, I'm not. You started with 18. How about that?
12.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. There we go.
The dominance that you were able to do in corporate America. What are some of the skills that you learned, obviously, through different avenues before, and then obviously playing experience that has landed you here with Pro Volleyball Federation right before the first one of many?
Well, I can tell you that working in corporate America as a female is not easy.
Right.
And, you know, every time that I came across the challenge, I would reach out to my mentors and speak with them and talk about how to handle it. And I had great mentors, many women, some men, and made great decisions in my career and moved up the corporate ladder. And now I'm mentoring these women.
Right.
And when they have challenges, they reach out to me, we work through them. And, you know, this is all about bringing volleyball home to the United States of America. And whatever that takes, whatever leadership skills that takes, whatever people we need to go to find and hire, we're going to do it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, you picked the perfect city to start it, because I know you guys probably did market research, and we talked about it yesterday on Old School where Omaha does things right. Now we're biased, you know, but we do a lot of things right. I know this is going to be a phenomenal night. I'm sure you're pretty nervous, but I know how it is before a first match or a first game for me, Matt, for you. On a scale, I will do a scale 1 to 7, right? You get 1 to 10.
I go 1 to 4 because you can't pick 2.5.
Okay, 1 to 4. We'll do 1 to 4. What's the excitement level? I'm excited.
5.5.
Yeah. And you know, one thing I wanted to also ask you is, what made you take the leap to come leave a job? You know, where you obviously when you go back and look at your background, phenomenal. To say, you know what, I'm gonna not take a chance, but take a chance on something that's never been done before. How did you come to that decision? Because I think it's something that people need to understand, not only about you, but about this league and the opportunity, because you didn't have to, right? And you know, it was last June, right?
It was May of 22 when I decided to take the role.
May of 22.
Yep.
So tell me what came to you to say, you know what, I want to do this.
So I played volleyball in college, right?
Wayne State
University, not Wayne State, Nebraska. Nothing in them. They certainly have a much higher ranking in the Division II rankings. But you know, my love of volleyball, playing it, 8 years of coaching my daughter, my love of mentoring women in business, which is a part of this that we haven't even talked about, is making sure that these athletes enjoy mentors and mentees in their markets where they play, so that when they're done playing, they have an easy pathway to business or to whatever it is that they do want to do. I love the sport of volleyball, but more importantly, one of my best girlfriends went to Germany right after we got done playing many, many moons ago at Wayne State. And I saw how she was treated.
Right.
And I know that it's time.
Right.
It's time to
It's
bring.
been time.
It's way past time. And it is a leap of faith. My husband stayed at home and watched our children for the last 20 years, and so I'm the sole breadwinner, and it was a big leap. Convincing him was harder than convincing me. But I'll tell you what, it's been all kinds of fun and many, many challenges. But I wake up every morning and I pinch myself, because I get to do something that is different and historic for these ladies. And I can tell you the gratitude that I get from every one of them every day.
Sure. Yeah, I can only imagine.
Allowing them an opportunity. They're just so gracious.
Yeah.
Jen, there's two words that are often used in this: visionary, pioneer, right? Because you, as Jay said, you have to take the chance. You have to believe in it, but you also have to see something that other people haven't seen. And you have to commit to something that folks haven't committed to doing. This took a lot. Tell me about the team, the organization, team of people who work around you to make sure that tonight happens in full.
Yeah. Well, our founders, obviously, they brought the idea. They've been thinking about this for a dozen years now. They certainly laid out the groundwork and the plan and the strategy. And I took it upon myself we hired the right people in marketing and in public relations and in, my team that recruited these women. We went to work, and everybody had kind of a swim lane, and we went to work, and, we delivered 138 phenomenal athletes to training camp just 3.5 short weeks ago. And we still have 2 teams that are in training camp, and we've got ladies that are trying to make a team. And so, to have and to be able to convince 138 women, actually more than that, because some of them just didn't get asked to training camp, but that this was real, and that this was happening, and that they did not need to go to Europe again for the 4th, 5th year in a row and spend 9 months in Finland or Denmark or Switzerland and make, $50,000 when they can, over 9 months, when they can come here and make 60 in 4.5.
One of the things we talked about yesterday in Old School is I always say, like, the opportunity cost. And so I had some friends that played professional basketball to go over there because obviously, the NBA and stuff. So talk about when you talked about mentoring them, and then when they're done playing, have an avenue afterwards, how huge that is. Because I think the way I hope it and envision is going to take off here in Omaha and all the other cities, that it could just snowball into greater things for everybody in this league. Talk about that from your experience, because not only from your playing career, corporate America career, you can give them a pathway that a lot of athletes even, don't have. And it's a little bit easier now, I'd probably say, with social media, but obviously when we played our different sports, it's a lot harder, because you're spinning your wheels about 4 or 5 years. And if you don't have a good mentor, and then you have to be a good mentee, right? A good teammate.
Yep.
And that's something that you could tell them too, about how you have to have a team at home in order to be successful, because it's a tough world, not only on the court, but then obviously out here in America.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody that is a Division I athlete that's playing in Italy right now.
Right.
And she's at the A1 league, which is the top league in Italy.
Yep.
And she and I spent a good 45 minutes on the phone, and I was trying to convince her that this is the thing. And then when I told her about our mentor program and about the business side of this, which again we haven't even talked about.
Right.
We're just trying to get to the first serve.
Sure.
Which of course is just a few short hours away. But the opportunity for her to meet mentors in her market that she's going to play in, and be able to work on the off season in that market. And a lot of these women are in marketing. A lot of these women got degrees in communications.
Right.
I mean, what are we doing right now, right? So having an ex-athlete like you, Jay, get into this business is kind of a no-brainer. So they're all very excited. And let me tell you something, she signed.
Well, here's what I will say.
Great marketing.
Right. Well,
great marketing.
I've only met you here last 5-10 minutes. I'm pretty sure you could be very convincing. You could either say, listen
Ask
to
my
me.
husband that.
Well, I can't speak for him. I'm pretty sure you can say, listen, you look at my resume, or listen to me for about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm sure you have a pretty good closing percentage?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask the thing that happens in this? What we've done in Nebraska was create a space for athletes to not only, as you said, have a future in this thing. And a big part of the Supernovas network is that we have the capability of giving them shows and allowing them to work and create the brand themselves, create content to tell their story. And I've made a point to be careful not to try to tell the stories of these young ladies as well as they do. Like, we need to give voice to these players. We need to give name to these players, recognition, and then give value. So them to know that when they take the uniform off and they go into the communities, that they will still have voice. How important is that, and how big a part of that is the future? Can we create a network within the federation for athletes to tell their stories?
Absolutely. That's exactly what this is all about. It's about converting the unconverted. It's about these women being able to tell their stories and us telling their stories for them, and then giving them a platform to go out and do that. I heard through the grapevine, I haven't seen her yet. I can't wait to see her, but Brooke Nunneviller has been recognized around town, and she's never had that. And she's a star, right? They all are.
Yeah.
And, it's exciting for them to be recognized by little girls, and they want their autograph, and they don't get that in Turkey. They don't get that in Greece.
Right.
That doesn't happen in Japan.
What, Jen, I wanted to ask you, I always say you should have like short, intermediate, and obviously long-term goals for your first season. What are kind of some of your short-term goals? Obviously, after you get it going, after all the cities have played a couple matches, how does that evaluation process continue to evolve? Because I think I'm a big, hey, let's be very modest and then over deliver. And I can't speak for you, but what are some of your intermediate goals for not only yourself but then the whole league?
Well, my motto in sales is under promise and over deliver. So
that's a little Tom Osborne there.
That's what you got to do that.
Yeah.
Watching the attendance grow, I think that's going to be very important. Watching these athletes grow, watching them continue to compete at a very, very high level. Those are all important. You may know that we already have 3 expansion teams for next year.
Right. Yeah.
There's another league that we call the WNBA, and they haven't expanded in 25 years.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're excited. We're excited about Kansas City and Dallas and Indy. But yeah, I mean, the level of play that you're going to see tonight.
Right.
I mean, Nebraska's good. Division I women's volleyball is good. These ladies are faster. They're more powerful. They're stronger.
Right.
They jump higher.
Oh, I know.
They get to balls quicker. This is going to be a whole nother level, and people are going to be impressed.
I wanted to ask you about the explosion of college volleyball, but which maybe led to this because obviously with Jimmy and Joe Burrow kind of heading the announcement. I think right after CWS last year, DP, correct me if I'm wrong. Talk about that, how that's evolved. I think it's been big here in Nebraska. We were kind of in our little capsule here, but I think throughout the whole nation, it's really taken off the last 5 to 10 years. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, it has, and it's one of the reasons that the founders decided to do the league now.
Yeah.
It was about 3 years ago that they were talking to the executives at Bally's, ESPN, and the Big Ten Network.
Yeah.
And they'd always wanted to do indoor volleyball, professional women's indoor volleyball, had their eye on it for at least a dozen years. And it was then that they heard that the indoor NCAA volleyball had risen to the 3rd most viewed sport. And then, it was a couple weeks later, they were talking to Kathy DeBoer, who's the head of the American Volleyball Coaches Association. She shared with them that there were more girls playing volleyball in the state of Texas than there were boys playing football in the states of Ohio and Florida combined.
Oh,
yeah, that's a big one, right?
Well, Jay's a Texas guy, so he
go.
can tell you.
And
that is a pretty big feat, though.
And it was then that they decided the time was now. And then, women's sports is having a movement. Volleyball is having a movement. Nebraska volleyball is having a movement. And, there's just so many girls playing club volleyball. And, we wanted to give them an opportunity to stay home and give them a place to play where they could be their hometown heroes.
It's a big part of the process is connecting with the community. But for folks who they're used to Creighton and Nebraska Wesleyan, we get that. When they walk into these arenas for Federation games, what's the ideal? Like, what's the vibe? What should they expect?
Well, you watch an NCAA game, right? There's
Yeah.
no noisemakers.
Right.
There's no fan zones.
Yeah.
There's no end zones. There
Right.
might be, 100 kids jumping up and down the bleachers,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Right.
You wait till tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You-
know it's sold out,
There's a
right?
pom pom on every seat. I don't know if you've noticed that, but
Yeah.
And those are all the sold seats.
exactly.
Those are all the sold seats. When
Well,
you
the
walk-
lower bowl is covered. So what does that tell you?
when you walked in,
Yeah.
and then you get the numbers, and they
Mhm.
start to whisper
Yeah.
the expected crowd.
Yeah.
How proud are you of what you've accomplished? Like that whole cape in your jacket thing, that you've created this thing that is going to be spectacular. But what would the experience be when people leave tonight? What do you think they're going to say?
I think they're going to say, wow. I walked in here and was here at 5 a.m. and I was doing courtside, interviews, and none of these pom-poms were here. The floor wasn't done. The net wasn't up. And then I walked back in here, and it's just sure joy for me. And just so you know, Jay, I'm not nervous. They're probably
I'm
nervous.
sure yeah.
But all our work is done. Now
Right.
we just need to put the product out there, and everybody that's got a role in the actual match is going to do it, and it's going to be fantastic.
This is where it gets interesting, right? So we'll get to the personal side, because we were talking before, and you do the deep dive, and you want to know who's Jen, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to know. And then you think, in this presentation, in this room, in the middle of the country, with a packed house, that if she gets the playlist, right? Because
Right.
it's got to be some of her personality in this thing, right? You build it to you. What kind of music? If you're DJing this thing, I heard two words that I really had to. I was like, she's a genius, she's brilliant. But yacht rock,
Yacht rock radio, baby, let's go. Well, you got to mix in some Eagles and 70s classic rock, but yacht Air Supply. Come on.
Are you
Sticks?
If you tell me
Sticks.
If you tell me that in the middle of the greatest rally that ever existed in North American volleyball, that some Air Supply comes
No,
up?
no, I didn't say that. You asked me about my playlist.
Yeah, I was gonna.
That's just good for intermission.
Yeah.
Intermission, right, yeah.
I'm an 80s girl, but I'm a 70s.
So you were
Music.
okay. So you chose volleyball over basketball,
Oh, yeah, but played both.
right?
Yeah.
But you chose one over the other. What was your pregame? So if you could put headsets on to prepare yourself to play one more time.
You got to remember, when I played, there weren't headsets.
Well, what? Yeah. Like what would be your music to get you ready for tonight?
Oh my gosh. Oh, you're really okay. So don't laugh, but my absolute favorite singer is Neil Diamond. I'm letting you down, aren't I?
Real
Okay,
relaxed.
all right.
Subdue it.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Well,
I'm going with Thunderstruck AC/DC.
Yeah.
I'll
100%.
share with
Yeah.
you.
Well,
I'll
then
share
you're
with you
in
a
Nebraska
secret.
then.
I'll share with you a secret. You're sitting with two black guys that have probably both sang Neil Diamond out loud. So you're okay. Yeah, like you're okay. Like you're okay.
Some
Like I'm not
dudes,
sure
right?
where else
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure where else you could find that. I'm okay with Thunderstruck, and we'll get this thing through. Like that's good. If I asked you for a scouting report on yourself,
Yeah.
right? You as an athlete, because that's how you're working. That's literally how it the two are tied. They're connected. Give us the scouting report.
Well, I played when there's no vertical jump required. So there we go. The shoulders are both blown out. They
Yeah.
both sublex both ways. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't hit the floor. I'm a middle blocker. We don't get bruises. So
Right.
I'm not doing any defense.
Oh.
I can blow the ref's whistle pretty good.
All right, I like that.
Okay, that's fair.
Then I coach. So, I can tell them what they're doing wrong.
What's on your whiteboard? Your coach's things that Coach Jen says more than anything else.
My girls will love this.
Yeah.
More cowbell. And by the way, the 15-year-olds that I coached last year,
Yeah.
they don't know what that means. I had to
See,
send them
you
the
had
video.
to show them. You had to show them.
I had to send them the video, and then they watched it. That was homework one night,
Right.
right? And they watched it, and they're looking at it. Coach, I don't get it.
They don't get it.
I'm like,
No.
you don't get the more cowbell? Like, I need more
I
cowbell.
need.
So you know what they did when I left last year? They got me a
Okay.
pin. They got me a pin,
Yeah,
and
your
it says
pin.
more cowbell.
See, I thought they would have got one with your name on it.
Nope, just says more
Okay,
cowbell.
There we go. There we go.
There you
this,
go.
This is again. This is so spectacular, and so brilliant, and so altering of the very vacuum that it existed in. You've changed the whole thing. You've changed the future, because the young ladies that are going to walk in this building tonight, Those that are paying attention are going to listen to the broadcast. They're going to look at it on TV. They're going to see the videos going forward. They will talk tomorrow at practice, at school, at their clubs.
Let's hope so.
They will talk about the day professional volleyball came to North America, and it changed everything.
It's going to change the landscape.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Jay, let's get a break, bro.
Oh, with that being said, I mean, we're going to thank you for being on. But I wanted to ask you one more question before the break. I always say before a game, or at least when I play football, you could smell it. Do you smell, right?
Yeah.
I think athletes know when you get in the arena, right? You know when competition is near, you smell it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I know it. So
they know how to bring it too.
Yeah, hey, that's the only way to do is bring it, right?
That's right.
So, anyways, we're going to take a quick break. Jay Foreman, Jen Spiker, TP. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We wait all pro football season for the big game. But will you come out on top? Warhorse Festival of Games is putting you at the center of the action with 2 chances to win big. Earn entries for our $100,000 prop card challenge daily at Warhorse Casino Lincoln. Enjoy slots, sports wagering, and horse racing. Then make your picks about the big game to be eligible to win. Qualifying entries will also be put in the running for your share of the $20,000 grand prize drawing. Increase your luck for the drawing by playing free online games on the Festival of Games website. Skip the trip to Vegas and get in on the big game right here at Lincoln's favorite place to play. And if that's not enough, our $1 Million Bracket Challenge for college basketball is coming soon. Full details are online at warhorsecasino.com. Warhorse Casino Lincoln, just minutes from downtown at Highway 77 and West Denton Road. Why not today? Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Are you in the market for a new garage door or need to repair your old one? It's wintertime, and that means snow, wind, and freezing temperatures. All things that can cause sticky locks and damage to your garage door. If you're experiencing any issues with your commercial or residential garage door during the winter months, call Cameron Hall and his team at Doors Plus. Don't be trapped outside in the cold because of a poorly maintained garage door. Call Doors Plus today at 402-590-5800 or visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Coppell. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Coppell. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at coppellcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G207684.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, January 31st through February 1st. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, exact apply sprayers, and more. Free dicamba certification will be available. Join Landmark at their sprayer clinic January 31st and February 1st in Kearney. Find more information at landmarkimp.com/events.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for The Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relieved. The team at The Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of freezing rain and freezing drizzle with more fog and freezing fog. We'll see a high around 35. Tonight, a slight chance of freezing drizzle and more fog with the low around 33. And tomorrow, a slight chance of freezing rain, more freezing drizzle with the high of around 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Old school, second segment. Jay Foreman, DP. We'll be quick here, get back on time so we get it right about 4:45. But before we get into it, we want to thank Jen Spiker, the CEO of the Pro Volleyball Federation, which has obviously brought professional volleyball to the United States, and it's been a long time coming. But if you didn't get to listen to me and DP interviewing her, you definitely got to go download it on the 937theticket.com website, and then obviously listen to it. It's a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, but also with her corporate experience, you know she has the right vision and business plan and acumen to make it work. Now,
I cannot wait to bring Jen Ray, who is the director of communications and media, on to the stream. Because Jay, if you looked at Rico, get out of the way. Watch. Can you see Jen down there?
Oh, is that in the pinks?
She came game day ready.
She's like the guy that does hockey up there.
She
that
look.
yeah, she's like that. I don't know his name.
Jen came game day ready. Would you look at all of that magnificence? That is spectacular.
Look, the excitement is here, and you know it's a big day, and obviously it's no better place, in my opinion. Obviously, biased opinion, but factual that you kick it off here in Omaha because Omaha does it right, and obviously see with the lower bowl sold out on the first night, and a big portion of the upper bowl sold out on the first night. The excitement is here.
I think the walk-up sells us out.
Yeah, and it's going to be great. I think the energy is going to be here. I know the volleyball is going to be great. Jen said it's going to be a lot more exciting, a lot more fast-paced. We learned about that last week, talking to Coach Renee Saunders, who's going to be on the call with DP here tonight. But DP, obviously,
sure.
You know, more sports is happening, but I wanted to ask you a little bit about NFL news. Jim Harbaugh has canceled his second interview with the Atlanta Falcons. Does that mean San Diego Chargers or bust, or does it mean that eventually he's going to have to go back to Michigan? Because right now is when head coaches can do majority of their recruiting. He is granted, Michigan's always going to be able to recruit, right? But he's not out there recruiting because he's interviewing for jobs. He had a really good long second interview with San Diego. Do you think he finally pushes himself and accepts the role of the head coach at not San Diego, but Los Angeles Chargers? Or is this another offseason of Jim Harbaugh playing footsie with the NFL and going back to Michigan?
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to recruit at San Diego.
No, just got to draft. Yeah.
Listen,
in San Diego, the city and the weather,
set, right? The Chargers are set. We know that other than the moves that he would want to make if he's going to take the job,
right?
So 80% of the roster is
going to be there, and they'll find a way to keep some guys. Yeah,
right. To understand kind of what's in play, and then to say, okay, from a financial standpoint, it accomplishes everything that he wants to accomplish.
Right.
He literally can write his number on a piece of paper and slide it across the table, and they will either say yes or no. And listen, how many times has a coach had the ability to say, look, write that number right now or I'm out, right?
Yeah, not too many.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a rare thing that's happening. And so every coach in the world would like to be in Jim Harbaugh's shoes right now.
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just amazing to me. It's and I get it. I'm sure it's a big decision. If I was a head coach at Nebraska and had some, more than success, won a national championship, been through some ups and downs, it'd be regardless of what's facing him potentially down the road, possible suspensions, and obviously ruin his reputation as far as maybe some rules violation, whether it's him directly or indirectly. It still would be a hard decision to leave a place that you got started at. But I just wonder, he was willing to leave last year, got to the college football playoffs the last 3 years, and was willing to leave after 2. Nobody would fault him, for leaving then. But now, after winning a national championship, missing half the games this year through suspension, is the time now. And then I'm also going to ask, what's taking you so long? Because the negotiating is not taking. Listen, he hasn't signed the contract in Michigan.
The numbers are in play. He knows the numbers,
and so do they.
He knows the numbers. They know the numbers. They've compared them. But here's the missing link in this thing. Only Jim Harbaugh knows what's coming.
An idea.
He knows what he did.
He knows what either he did or somebody else did.
Right.
Yeah.
He knows what they can follow up. Right. So okay, the decision has already been made. He's just working the room.
Yeah.
And I get that because he still has the freedom to make that choice.
You got to find his staff and make sure it all jives with the GM. I just wonder if I'm Michigan, right? And imagine DP, you're the AD at Michigan or the president or whoever, as far as and I'm the coach.
Yep.
And it seems like this is every year, even since you first hired me.
Yep.
That I've been. Because remember, he was on the Dolphins' radar. That was a foregone conclusion, and so forth and so on. At what point in time do you, as a president, AD,
just cut cord?
Do you just say, what, enough is it? Thank you, but no thank you, because it's not going to stop it this year. So at what point in time do you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Michigan also knows what they did.
Sure.
They know what's coming. They know what's coming. They know, okay, listen, the messaging, the rebranding has to happen, right?
Eventually at some point.
Well, I mean, this would be the time because you're about to, whatever suspension, whatever thing has to happen. You know that something else is coming.
Right.
They're not done with you.
Right.
So then you need to be proactive in saying, okay, my next coach cannot be Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I have to make a statement and rebrand and protect the brand, right? Protect the brand and then reimagine the program. That's what's required now.
Right.
Michigan understands. So as they move forward, I would expect that they have 1A, 1B, 1C ready, lined up, and prepared, right, to launch, right? To do the interviews. And they've done the math. Here's how many coaches are going to leave with Coach Harbaugh, because some are going to leave, including people that may be on our list of 1A, 1B, and 1C.
Sure.
So, listen, move.
Right.
Make like the fact that nobody's moving tells me you're just being reactive, and that's how you got in the situation to begin with. They all have to be smart enough to say who they are and say what they want to do and do it.
Yeah.
Like, just do it already.
Yeah, I just wonder what the holdup
Aren't they?
is.
They're a Nike school.
Oh, they're Jordan. Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Like, put that.
Yeah.
That should be the brand from here on out.
You know, I think right now with Nick Saban retiring and Kalen DeBoer, kind of pulling a Jim Harbaugh, where if you go back and listen to their athletic director, he turned down a lot of money for the University of Washington 3 different times. And this is a pretty good move by obviously him and his agent, considering that he was the 3rd or 4th choice at Alabama. For Michigan to kind of fall in line and not be shock treatment to the media and everybody else, this is the time, right? I mean, Nick Saban retiring, really, literally, it came down to him flipping a coin, 5 minutes, what speech he was going to do. He ends up retiring. That blew everything up, especially just out. Then Michigan, won national championship. I think the time is now if you're trying to do a reset of your program. Look, it's a new Big Ten, right? You got some new coaches coming in. You'll have even more new coaches next year. It's going to be eventually the new landscape of college football if they continue to either add to the playoffs or change the conferences and all that other stuff. The time might be now for Michigan to pull that contract back and say, listen, the NFL is best for you right now. And it has to happen by Monday. Because next week you're going to really have to start recruiting. You got to do something, right?
Just pull the trigger. Like, I think everybody knows what they're doing. Just do it. Like, to go through and be dramatical and go through all that. No.
Right.
No. If you're the Chargers and you know how bad you need him, especially being in the division with the Chiefs, in the division with the Raiders,
right,
in the division with the Broncos,
you
know what you have to do.
Right. And you should feel very comfortable where you potentially could go with Jim Harbaugh, considering the state of the Raiders, the Broncos, the franchises, talent. And then also, even if the Chiefs go on and push through and win a championship or, get to the Super Bowl, there is chinks in their armor. And they will be facing the ramifications of a salary cap that they cannot keep all their players. So
they don't have to look across you don't have to look across the fence.
Right.
You don't have to look at the Chiefs. You're not good enough.
Right.
You're not good enough.
Not right now.
The Chargers aren't good enough. You have some pieces.
Right.
Identify those pieces, move along, find the things that you don't, and then get better. And the way to get better pretty quickly
is get the head man. And you got a quarterback. And also, before we go to break, 3 years ago, the AFC West, especially with the Chiefs, it was scaling up. Now it's starting to scale down. So it's a perfect time for Harbaugh to kind of come in and feast on it. So quick break, come back at the bottom of the hour. Jay Foreman, DP, Old School. We will be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's pro time, Nebraska. The Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, are about to hit the court. Mark your calendars for January 24th at 7 p.m. when we host the first ever Pro Volleyball Federation match against the Atlanta Vibe at the CHI Health Center. Witness world-class talent, including national champions and Olympians. Don't wait. Secure your single match tickets today at supernovas.com and become a part of history.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Coppell. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Coppell. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at coppellcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G207684.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, January 31st through February 1st. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on John Deere and Hagee sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, exact apply sprayers, and more. Free dicamba certification will be available. Join Landmark at their sprayer clinic January 31st and February 1st in Kearney. Find more information at landmarkimp.com/events.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through January 30th is $2 off steakhouse burgers and buy one Urban Slicer Pizza Works dough, get an Urban Slicer Pizza Works pizza sauce for free. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP, old school. Quick segment before we get to the 5 o'clock hour. Got about 2 minutes here. Again, we are up here at the CHI Center. Omaha Supernovas against the Atlanta Vibe, the first official pro volleyball game kicking off here in Omaha. Pro Volleyball Federation. We had Jen Spiker on, obviously a bundle of energy and experience, and she's the CEO, and told us how the vision came together for as many almost a decade ago, and then really started to gain some tread 3 years ago. And you see plenty of people that are going to be here. You got the lower bowl sold out. I think DP just told me that close to 11,000 tickets were sold as of this morning. Pom-poms, if you don't get to see it, are all the way around. You can see it behind me. The whole lower bowl is sold out. This is pretty cool, man.
So you can get in to the last 5 rows of the upper bowl.
Yeah, I don't like heights, so I'm glad we are where we are. And then look, you see both Lincoln and Omaha news stations doing live look-ins here because it's a big deal. I think it's great that when the league got started, obviously gained some tread. We had had some people on last year at College World Series, and it just continued to grow. And obviously, listen, the people at Nebraska, University of Nebraska, the Nebraska volleyball team, deserve some credit too. When you credit as well, when you have the volleyball day, 90,000 people make national news. Great volleyball year, obviously with the Final Four. It continued the momentum to get to this night. And I asked Jen Spiker about it. Like when I used to step on the field, look, competition's in the air. She played, volleyball in college, and she knows what it takes. And so it starts at the top, and then the mentoring system, and so forth and so on. So she said her level of excitement, she goes 1 through 4. She's at a 5.5. DP, I'm going to ask you, what's your level of excitement, 1 to 7, calling, the first official professional volleyball game, along with Coach Renee Saunders? What's your excitement level, 1 to 7?
I'm in full.
Yeah.
I'm 7 in full. I had said, and I've told folks that when I came to Lincoln, I was going to retire.
Right.
I was going to retire. And a big part of my career was play-by-play, whether it be NFL, in college, NBA, baseball, whatever.
Yeah.
And that part of me, I put that microphone away at the last Class A state championship I did at PBA 3 years ago.
Right.
And when Nick came along, I said, okay, cool. I could give some other people this. This opportunity came along. It wasn't my intention.
Right.
To call pro volleyball.
Sure.
The people with the Supernovas actually said, well, listen, not for nothing, but you're a pro.
Right.
Why would you give this away?
Right.
And then the part of being able to be a part of history.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's when you can think about it, and the way I kind of envision, and I'm going to say this real quick before we go to break. When they first, have a replay of it, whether it's on YouTube or one of the other networks, or just in history, whenever it gets replayed, and they come into the 93.7 The Ticket feed or the call, you're going to be on there. Yeah. And I think it's also monumental where, as Jen Spiker was talking about the league and her experience and doing things that, and taking a leap of faith, kind of goes along, and kind of plays along with 93.7 The Ticket being the flagship station for the Omaha Supernovas, as how your vision with the with the ticket and taking it places, taking a chance, taking a leap of faith, having some vision, having some intestinal fortitude to believe in yourself and believe in what you say and what you think and what you could see in the future. Because I'm sure, we didn't get into it with her or anybody else that's involved in the, the finances or, where cities are, who players, that there was probably a lot more doubters than there was people say, yeah, I see it happening. Even though the state of volleyball, the growth of volleyball has just taken the nation by storm over the last few years. So I think it's a great night. We're only about an hour away. And so with that being said, we are going to go to break and come back at the 5 o'clock hour, talk about some other sports. And then we'll spend the last, 10 minutes or so, obviously try to get out a little bit early, let you, get your tea and the honey, right? Because you got the pregame show here with Coach Saunders. But we're going to take a quick break, come back at the top of the hour. Jay Foreman, DP, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and Jay. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Think you need a new furnace due to a cracked heat exchanger? Call Bryant for a free second opinion. Might save you thousands, no matter what brand. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. We do whatever it takes.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard, increase security, and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of freezing rain and freezing drizzle with more fog and freezing fog. We'll see a high around 35. Tonight, a slight chance of freezing drizzle and more fog with the low around 33. And tomorrow, a slight chance of freezing rain, more freezing drizzle with the high of around 36. Meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Hello, everybody. It's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I hear that new Honda manufacturing continues to go up, and you have new Hondas in stock now.
That's correct, Charlie. We have more than 40 new Hondas in stock right now. It's great that a customer can come in and buy a new Honda and drive it home that day. New Honda inventory keeps getting better each month.
Okay, then. How about used cars, Andy?
We have more than 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose from right now, and a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in daily. We have just about every maker model you can imagine in any price range.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through January 28th, enjoy Lincoln's favorite USDA Choice Bacon Wrapped Sirloin Fillets for just $3.99 per 8-ounce cut. All natural whole Boston butt for $1.49 per pound, and lumberjack pellets for $7.99 per 20-pound bag. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
If Ewers throws that ball to the front pylon, Texas might have tied that game up and had a chance to win it.
That moment right there, it's one of those moments that every young man dreams about. There's two outcomes in that moment. You're a gamer or you tense up.
You're a gamer or you're a goner.
Or you're a goner.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We were back. Jay Foreman, DP, Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. We have another surprise guest. Let's see if we can get her on here. Coach Renee Saunders is going to be on the call here with DP. I'll ask you, Renee. Obviously, I asked DP on a scale of 1 to 7. I'm going to ask you, because I asked you last time how excited you were. Now we are here. I know from coaching, when you step into the arena and there's about to be competition, you can smell it in the air. But how excited are you? I know because we talked about it off. But how excited are you to be on the call tonight?
I'm absolutely fired up. Like, I've been sitting around all day, and the kids at school, I wear my Supernova shirt, and everybody knows this game's going on tonight. It's almost as exciting as a state championship game, where you're kind of waiting all day.
Yeah.
And the closer it gets to game time, the more excited you are.
And the one thing that people don't understand is we had Jen Spiker, who is the CEO of the federation and of the whole league and visionary behind this. They don't understand the pace that this game is going to be played at tonight, or this match is going to be at tonight, because it's going to be totally different than what everybody's used to with college volleyball.
It's going to be fast, long rallies. It's going to be fun.
Right.
It's going to be super fun. It's going to be I think there's going to be multiple long rallies, and I hope the Supernovas come out on the winning end of a lot of them. But it's going to be a fast pace, great tempo on the sets, tempo on pass. But they're going to be swinging high because these kids can jump.
Right. And one thing that that you talked about in the attendance, but then talk about you have a great, obviously, program yourself. A lot of the young ladies probably go on and play college volleyball. Talk about the potential for them to see it so close, though. Whereas it's not in another city. It's right here in Omaha, in the state of Nebraska, of what the possibilities or the option for a legitimate league to play here on U.S. soil. First match tonight. Just talk about the impact, not only here in this arena, which is going to be sold out, but all across the state of Nebraska coming here to Omaha.
I think across the country, everybody's going to be watching Omaha tonight.
Sure.
And there's going to be a lot of wide-eyed little girls out there. There's
Yep.
going to be high school kids. My conversations, even like Lindsay Crossy, do you want to play professional volleyball? Yes. One of my players today, do you want to play? I hope to see you playing professional volleyball someday. And she's like, I would love that. Like, these kids, the goal has always been to be able to play college ball.
Yeah.
And now they can think bigger than that,
right.
which is fantastic.
Yeah, one of the things that Jen Spiker talked about is the mentoring, and I know you do a lot of it as a coach, because that's just you're in it with them from camps all the way through high school, and then obviously through college. She talked about being able to mentor the athletes that are playing tonight after they get done playing in this federation. Talk about how big that is, because when we were in college, there wasn't a lot of mentors to teach you how to navigate this business world and grow your brand, or really make that easy transition into something after you're done playing. Talk about how huge that is for the players that are going to be playing tonight.
I mean, anytime you have something to help you at the next stage of life is important. Like, you were lucky enough to play pro ball, so you probably had a little bit of help there as far as like management goes, money goes. But then a lot of athletes, their career ends and they're like, now what?
Yep.
Then they kind of go through that stagnant, like, almost not depression, but they're in the
figure it out stage.
Down and out, like, I have to start adulting now, and so then it's to have that help from somebody else who's maybe been there before, that can, a lot of these kids that are playing tonight, I mean, Sydney Hilly's like a biochemist, like brilliant, working from Omaha now. I mean, a lot of them are still working and adulting and then playing volleyball. But then when your volleyball career is over, what's next?
Yeah. Talk about also give me about 2 or 3 things that I should look for tonight that I normally wouldn't see, I guess, in a college, volleyball match.
I mean, you're going to see serving, you're going to see passing, and I think obviously it's always important to have a strong serve and pass game. I think you're going to see less errors. I hope.
Right.
I hope it's a little cleaner than what you would see in college. I think you're going to see a lot of crazy good defense.
Yeah.
I think both teams are going to probably block well. It'll be, I wonder who can terminate best out of system.
Yep.
And if I think the Supernovas handle the ball well out of system, they've got a good shot to come away with the dub tonight.
Coach, there are so many different stories that we kind of got some access to yesterday. When you have somebody that's coaching and teaching in high school, who prepares themselves and put in the work, and then finds themselves at a pro camp, and then outworks the other pros into a job. That's a Blair High School story. That's a local story that I don't think everybody knows. Let's talk about that. Think about what it took to put in that amount of work, not being promised a spot at camp, not being promised a spot on the roster, and somehow finding yourself being prepared and ready for the situation that is.
Just Shaban is a stud. I mean, she was a 3-time All-American at Iowa State. She went down to Long Beach, played 2 years of beach. She's the pride of small town Iowa. She just had a child a year ago, wanted to try out, didn't think they had a shot of making Coach Collier wasn't sure she'd even have a shot making the roster. And the next thing you know, she comes out and she just lights it up, and she continues to get better every single practice. And she's super coachable. She may have worked herself in the starting lineup for tonight. And I don't think anybody even had her on the radar as even being an active roster participant.
Like, she asked the question, what about me at camp? Oh, I'm not real sure. Like, probably not likely. Look, for anybody that you coach, the question becomes, what's your excuse? Right. What's your excuse? Because as coach said, he didn't give her a spot. She made the decision. Right. He didn't make the decision. She made the decision, not only weeks ago, but months ago, that she was going to put in the work, commit to it, and get herself there. I think that it's just fascinating. I'll also ask you to go through a couple of folks on this roster and tell us that if you're a fan that's coming in, or you're going to watch, you're going to listen to this, who should eyes and ears be drawn to? Who's going to make this the goosebumps show up tonight?
There's some passionate kids on this team, like Kendall White, libero from Penn State. She is crazy energy, and you might say she's a little crazy. Like, she might dive into the seats. She might dive into our laps.
Yeah, I expect
the kid's going to go hard all the time. She's going to be slapping and hitting people and jumping on them, and she's like kind of the hype woman. I think Betty is business, and she's really, really good at what she does.
I told Jay, listen, I have mad respect for pro athletes. And I respect more the ones who can do things that us mortals can't do. Right? There are several of those women in the building tonight, Betty being the first name that comes to mind. I told Jay, if she challenges you, just say no and walk away. Like, do not take the challenge. Two of the premier setters in the world are going to wear the uniform of the Omaha Supernovas. Let's talk about those two women. Let's start with Sydney. You mentioned her before.
Yep.
This is big. One, it speaks a lot that you're going to compete, and you're okay with being with one of the other top 5 setters in the world. This is a unique space to have those two, that caliber of 2 elite setters on the same roster. How do you handle it as a coach?
2 elite setters with completely different personalities, right? Like, you have Nati, who is, she's constant energy and talk and always trying to make her hitters get in a better position, and might even like force the ball a little bit with tempo to try to like speed things up, make things better, get the blockers to a disadvantage. And then you've got Sydney, who's a little bit more, as coach said, cerebral, right? But very calculated. Like, that kid is smart, like IQ smart, knows what the other side's doing, knows where her best hitters are, knows what her best options are, knows what the best matchups are. And not that Nati doesn't. They both also have that. Right. So Sydney can also fire people up if she needs to. And Nati can also like dial it in and get them refocused. So, I mean, we've got 2 really special setters. And I think the most intriguing thing tonight is, how is Shelton going to use them? With the sub situation and all that, he could very well use a double sub, but we've seen him start in rotation 4 in scrimmages, right? Which then gives her 6 rotations before you would double sub. And so when you only can use a 1 in, 1 out type method, that I wouldn't be surprised to see them to start in 4, or maybe let her go 6 around from 1 and then go 9 rotations and then sub out.
How do you even measure that as a coach, that in a unique situation, you don't know, 3 sets, 5 sets, but with that kind of talent where you know that the pieces are interchangeable and you need to give them enough work, but mission first, let's win the match. How do you as a coach make that decision? Is that from what's happened at practice, or is that in game? Who's having a good night? Who can change the rhythm? Game situation.
I mean, in all honesty, I think he's going to have his starter, and he's going to have it for a reason, probably a performance in practice. I think that's that. If they need an energy boost, I could see the switch with Nati. If they need a different matchup boost with not having a smaller, Sydney's not really a small blocker, but a smaller blocker than like a Gina or Nia or one of those guys they could put in at the right side.
6 foot versus 5'7". So there is some difference.
Correct.
And the length will show up.
Yep. And I mean, You got 2 stud outsides from Kentucky who are most likely going to start. We don't know for sure. I don't think we have the projected starters for Atlanta yet, but my guess.
We do. I think we do. Let me go check this.
My guess would be that Atlanta would go with the Kentucky outsides. Edmonds.
There it is.
Oh, I didn't get this version
Well,
yet.
it just showed up. You just got here. I'm doing the work for you.
So Edmond and Linehan, yep, would be the 2 that I figured they'd start outside. So you've got a 6'2" and a 6'3". We might want to go more size to match up with that. I just got done talking to Mesky about Stringer. She's a Dilfer. Football boys.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
family. Yep.
she's a gritty player, football coach dad. But yeah, it's going to be a fun game. You got like a national team libero for that side. You've got an AU libero on our side. It's professional volleyball. Everybody's stacked.
And let's say that again for the people in the back who may not be paying attention. I've been asked several times, well, how would Nebraska do against the Supernovas? And I say, you don't want to have that conversation. It's a different caliber of play. It's a different caliber of talent. Give us a little of the difference.
I mean, to me, I was looking like all Americans, right? So you're almost taking all your all Americans and you're putting them in a league.
Right.
Okay. So you're stacked from your starting 6 to your next 6 on the bench to your practice players. And it's every single team. And I think in Nebraska, we're so lucky to have great volleyball everywhere we go.
Right.
High school volleyball is strong here at all levels. You've got college volleyball at all levels. It's really strong here. So we're 100% spoiled. So to give it perspective, it would be like if Nebraska played Wisconsin every single game for 24 games.
Right.
You might win 50% of them.
Right.
Right. Like it's going to be high caliber, but instead of it being just 2 teams playing each other, it's going to be 6, 7 teams playing each other.
We had a fan describe it as if Nebraska and Wisconsin played Texas and Louisville, right. And they did it for 24 games. You really wouldn't know what the results would be. And I think that's the caliber of it. When you look around this arena, right, that, my goodness gracious, women's volleyball did this. This has got to be one of those moments that you circle when you make a memory of.
We've arrived.
Right?
Like I walked in and I was like, this is freaking awesome.
Right.
They got the pom-poms on every seat. You've got it's that energy in the air.
Right.
And there's not a person in the building yet except for these like
It's
50
just us.
people that are working, right?
And they're working hard too.
They are.
Yeah,
They're working real hard.
They've been here since like 5 a.m.
But like the players, I walked in the same time as they did, and I'm like, "Are you guys stoked?" And they're like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Like this is a long time coming, and I'm like, "Yes, it is." Like this is something that, we've always aspired to want to have and never had the means to have it, and now we have it, and it's on center stage, and everybody's watching Omaha tonight.
Right.
The world is watching Omaha tonight.
I wanted to ask you when it was professional volleyball, is it kind of, obviously it's a different game, but you're dealing with professionals. Is it more strategy? Because you just expect them to be motivated, or does it have to be a good mix because you're still, coaching a team and you have a live match out here?
The nice part I think about professional is the players know it's their job to play.
Right.
And the coaches know it's their job to coach.
Yeah.
So the coaches are going to train them and get them ready for match day. And the players are going to come in with the mindset to come in and do their jobs.
Right.
I don't think they don't need to motivate them.
Yeah.
They're professionals at this point. If you have to motivate them, then they're probably, you don't make it to this level if you don't have internal motivation, right? Like you've got that inner drive. So I think these guys will be fired up, ready to play. A player we didn't mention who's going to be fun to watch. People are going to love Brooke Nunaviller.
And here's what's funny. We were told before that she is already one of the favorites in the community.
Her personality.
Yeah, like people are finding her. They identify her.
Yes. She's going to be a fun player out here. Her defense, her back row attack, her net play. And she's small. She's not huge. And the kid's a baller.
Back row Brooke. We're ready for that.
Yeah.
Like we know that back row Betty, back row Brooke are coming. The game's going to look a little different. The ball coming off the hand sounds a little different.
It's a distinct sound. Partly because the ball is different.
Yeah,
but a lot of because these kids have mad fast arm swings.
Give us the space. Like what range is that? What do you think the arm speed range is going to be tonight?
Oh God, this is always a hard question because I always forget. I want to say like really high level college player can hit it like 70 miles per hour off their hands, you know, and I think some of the men, it's even more than that.
Sure.
You know, so I would assume all these players will be getting a ball off their hands at least 60, if not more.
Consistently, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. People don't understand when you think about ball speed getting off your hand. Doing it once is great, but being able to do it in set 3, 4, or under pressure is even bigger. I wanted to ask you, I know the game's different. Obviously, it's significantly different than high school, or not high school, but significantly different than high school and college. But for me, even when I go to I coach basketball, NBA game or watch, I do take some tips. Are you going to find yourself? I'm not trying to dime you out, but look, a coach is a coach, Renee. Come on now. Are you gonna say, oh, you know what? I wonder if that could work, or that could be something that we could possibly add to a practice situation? Because if you're a coach, it's always in your blood, and you talk about always having your team motivated. I'm sure it's going to be a big talking piece, when you see them, through the hallways at school or get together, whenever that is, about this night.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I was giving Bird a hard time. I'm like, are you gonna be sitting across from us? I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you when to hit that timeout button. Like, I was just totally messing with her, right? Like, it's time to sub, get her out, but I didn't do that. But no, I 100% have a really hard time watching sports without my coaching mind on.
Right.
So if anything, DP might have to save me a little bit because I might catch myself watching the coaches instead of what just happened.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to feed that. Like that. I keep explaining to the folks. I did a pop-up this morning, and they asked, well, what's your style? What can we expect? I said, my normal style is not going to be in play because I've got an expert next to me.
Right.
Like, I've got somebody that I can literally put the game in her brain and let her tell the story in short form. That's how I'm going to feed it.
Right.
Like, wait a minute, Coach, what are we doing?
Right.
Because I can ask, and she doesn't have to say what Coach Collier is actually doing.
Right.
She can just, from an expertise, just say, this is what I see, and this is what I
Renee, talking about Coach Collier, I want to ask you, look, it's one thing, and I remember, like, being in my 6th, 7th, 8th year in the pros, everybody's like, oh, you shouldn't be nervous. Everybody talks about the players being nervous, right? And I don't know how you are when you're about to get on the, state championship.
Winning her 10th state championship in a row.
Hey, listen.
We're just trying to win one, guys.
Yeah, right? Just one day, one foot in front of the other.
That's right.
But I want to ask you, how nervous do you think the coaches are? I mean, you got to think this is a huge opportunity for them. They know they're getting evaluated just as the players, and this is you're live on stage. All the volleyball eyes from Nebraska, Minnesota, Texas, California, Florida, wherever the big hotbeds are watching this tonight. And it's not only the players, it's the other coaches watching.
Yep.
And you know how it is. You could be sitting at home like, oh, that wasn't too smart. How nervous do you think Coach Collier is?
I think you should be nervous.
Yeah.
If you're not nervous, there's something wrong with you,
And
right? If you
care,
don't know,
right?
this is one of the biggest moments in
volleyball
history,
right? Sports
women's
history.
sports for us.
Yeah.
Like, then you're not like, check your pulse.
Yeah.
Like at this point, you should be nervous. Now, should you be freaking out? No, because you're a professional, right? And you've prepared your team, and you know that but you're always going to have a little bit of nerves to you until you kind of get in the groove, right? You see that first couple serves come in, the first couple passes, you get an idea what they're going to do. The honeymoon period, like those first 10 points.
Yeah, you just they're just
kind
feeling out a little bit.
Yeah, once you get past that 10 points, I think we'll be able to tell at point 15 a pretty good idea of what's going to happen in the match. But I've also been proven wrong in that.
Yeah,
you could think that the Novas have it completely, and then the first 2 sets they win, and then they switch sides, and then all their momentum goes somewhere else.
Coach Collier said it, and he said it several times. Folks need to come to expect that this league is going to build a lot of 25, 23, 26, 24 sets. Just expect it. That's how it's going to go down. There's talent on both sides of it. The coaching is elite on both sides of it. Then it becomes, can you make the play in the crucial, critical moments? But this is where I think this fan base is about to get really fed, because everybody on the floor for Omaha is a playmaker. And I think it's purposeful in choosing that anybody on the floor, Coach spoke about it yesterday, that anybody on the floor can make the play that'll win a set. And that, I think that's pretty spectacular.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, if you think about it, if you wanted, he could sub someone in who could make that play too. Like, it's not like it's not like we have like 7 or 8, 9 deep, and then the last 3 are right. Like they could play. I mean, you wouldn't want to do a line change per se, but like you could do some big changes if you need to.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that there's going to be nerves. There's going to be excitement. There's going to be an amazing like vibe in the air.
Yeah.
And
the
I don't want to
energy is
use
starting to ramp up right now.
I don't want to use the word vibe because we're playing the vibe.
Right.
And Sheldon made that same mistake yesterday, but it is. It's going to be that aura, right? That's in the air. That's just like great energy. And I hope the fans are really engaged and into the match. And I hope they find some new favorite players tonight.
Well, that's awesome. And, Coach, I appreciate you stopping by and dropping some knowledge of pregame. Listen, we're getting closer and closer. It's almost like when you want to get out of school. You know, you keep looking at the clock, and we need it to speed up faster. But with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. Jay Foreman, Coach Renee Saunders, DP. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through January 30th is $2 off steakhouse burgers and buy one Urban Slicer Pizza Works dough, get an Urban Slicer Pizza Works pizza sauce for free. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com. Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
It's phishing season. Bad actors are trolling your business emails, luring you and your employees to take the bait and steal your private information. Make sure your cybersecurity keeps your business from being the catch of the day. At Hamilton, cybersecurity is our business. We are experts at keeping your network and business information secure and off the hook. Contact Hamilton for a vulnerability assessment today. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through January 28th, enjoy Lincoln's favorite USDA Choice Bacon Wrapped Sirloin Fillets for just $3.99 per 8-ounce cut. All natural whole Boston butt for $1.49 per pound, and lumberjack pellets for $7.99 per 20-pound bag. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn. Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com. where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back out here at the CHI Center. Jay Foreman, DP, old school again, brought to you by the Mercado, certified Piedmontese. Special ingredients and butcher shop, 2 locations in Lincoln, 1 in Omaha, taking it over. Listen, I will tell you this about the Mercado. We have a heat wave coming next week. So go there and stock up. But anyways, we are minutes away from the pregame show.
Yes, sir.
For the first official pro volleyball match. And it's starting here in Omaha Supernovas against the Atlanta Vibe. We had Coach Renee Saunders on in the first segment at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. We had Jen Spiker, who is the CEO of the Pro Volleyball Federation. With that being said, DP, we have some other sporting news. I wanted to ask your opinion because you guys have plenty to talk about in the pre-match show. Is Adrian Griffin, Milwaukee Bucks, gets kind of ousted. And then next thing you know, Doc Rivers is hired within hours. I think that was probably already done. What do you think or envision Doc Rivers bringing, obviously, besides his pedigree that Coach Griffin wasn't able to do, considering, DP, that they are 30-13, the same record as the Denver Nuggets, the defending NBA world champs right now? What do you think the Milwaukee management either didn't see or possibly sees with Doc Rivers coming in?
Standard. It's what Coach Renee was talking about with being professional.
Right.
And the standard is not in the level of success that you have. It's, are you having the level that you should have?
Right.
That the players involved, the Giannis, and when Dame says, look, we're not playing the level.
Right.
When Giannis says, yeah, I would have booed us too. You can't have the best player in the universe say that, listen, we're not playing. Like, I would boo us too. For in the day and age of paying big money for tickets,
right,
to having name value, and then remember, you're playing for an NBA title.
Right.
This is not Minnesota. This
Right.
is not Charlotte.
No,
you heard what I said. I said what I said. This is not Minnesota.
Ant-Man.
Listen, you heard.
Ant-Man thinks different.
Yeah, right. That's because he your boy now.
Yeah.
He your
Oh,
boy
he been
now.
my boy,
He
though.
your boy now.
He might been my boy.
Cat out there putting up 60 burger.
I don't care what Cat done.
Cat put up a 60 burger.
Cat would be a mid-season trade for me.
But but that's just the thing. The Bucks are playing for an NBA title.
Right.
Nothing else is acceptable. That is the standard. They know it.
Right.
And they know that it's a short window. Like you don't have forever in this thing. You don't know what Dame's future is going to be.
Right.
You don't know what situation or circumstance is going to be. So listen, get it done.
Right.
Who can get us there?
Right. And who has done it before?
Of all the people who are available, it's a short list of people who can move the mountain.
So I wanted to ask you two things, right? And I understand that with Doc Rivers, but Doc Rivers has had some struggles himself. Quite frankly, in Philly, and then obviously the LA Clippers, and before that. Do you think is a two-part question? Do you think Doc Rivers coming in is more personality management / motivation?
100%.
More than X's and O's.
100%. The X's and O's, you said before, at some point, the players have to play.
Right.
The players have to play. And you have two of the best 10 in the world.
Yeah. Still at a high clip.
Right? Playing at a high clip. I mean, those are, like, if you made the list now,
right.
Those are two names that you put in the top 10, top 15.
And are playing well.
Right?
And are playing well.
Then you have other pieces
right.
that fit the whole thing. You've won 30 games, but they know that they should have won 38.
Yeah.
And that's the reality, right? That's the reality. Can I just wait a minute? Yeah. That is unacceptable. Yeah. That is unacceptable what we just witnessed. I just want to point out that Nick Sainert is standing here, and again, we're courtside. He's a catcher, for crying out loud, and I've said that the catchers aren't athletes.
Right.
But what just happened, the ball came over here, and what Nick Sainert did behind your back was to duck his head and put his hands over his head.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not about what he did, it's what he didn't do. What he didn't do is able to catch the ball, one hand, track the ball. It's still there, DP. It's still there.
How is that a thing? I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
Are you disappointed, or did it just reaffirm? The one other thing I wanted to talk about this Milwaukee Bucks, because I think it's interesting. Then we're going to move on to NFL with Nick Sirianni having a new position, essentially as a head coach to reprove himself, right? I want to ask you about the Bucks, because you got to think before they had the 23rd hour trade for Dame Lillard, right? They were not in championship or bust mode. You know what I mean? None of their offseason moves were for that. Obviously, when you traded for Dame, you got rid of Holiday, which took away a ton of your defensive respect and the ability to really shut teams down, because he was such a really big part of that team, not only on the court but in the locker room.
Uh-huh.
So when you see something like this, where you hire a coach and when you hire Griffin, because you could have hired Doc Rivers in the offseason, and then you make a switch. Do you think it's solely predicated on, okay, we got Dame, we're actually a good team, the East is a little bit shaky because the Celtics are the Celtics, are not scaring anybody, even though Porzingis is playing pretty well, and you figure the 76ers don't have the weapons. So it's either Milwaukee can say, like, we can go to an NBA Finals, and you just never know. Do you think this has changed on the fly from a management standpoint? Because the management all offseason was like, okay, we're going to try to find a way next year to make Giannis happy versus this year.
No, I mean, it has to be. We know that leadership starts everything, right?
Yeah.
If your leadership is not world championship, then the team doesn't matter.
Right.
Like the people who run it have to make those base level decisions.
Right.
Picking the right ninth man on the roster
right.
is as big a decision as the number 4.
Right.
You have to. Championships are won from the executive level.
Right.
So listen, if they've made decisions along and then accepted being 30-13, which a lot of organizations would have done and been fine with.
Oh yeah.
This tells me that they've accepted that. Listen, this isn't good enough,
and it won't be good enough.
We need to make changes.
Yeah, and you know
tough
what?
Changes.
And you know what? They are probably guesstimating and forecasting that other teams in the East will start making moves. This is not just based on the Bucks; it's forecasting. And so, With that being said, let's go over to the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, a disappointing last third of the season. Obviously, started out 10-1, end up 11-7, 1-6 slide, and none of their losses passed the eye test, especially going on the road to Tampa Bay, a team that scored 9 points the week before against Carolina Panthers. Put up, I think, over 30 points against them with a very talented roster. I could argue that the most talented roster in the league, even with A.J. Brown out. But there was rumors that Sirianni was out. And to have a end of the season press conference that let you know it was on the table, I think they said, listen, he's a holding call away from being Super Bowl champions. A little bit high expectations, obviously low results. We're going to give him another chance. Got rid of the offensive coordinator, got rid of the defensive coordinator. A indirect move has been this, a little bit of tampering, not so much. Vic Fangio and the Dolphins mutually decided to part ways. It's essentially probably he is on his way to Philly to become their defensive coordinator, and they fired Ben Johnson, their offensive coordinator. But the one interesting thing that Nick Sirianni said today, he said he wants to reprove himself. It's an interesting take because that had to be from upstairs, talking to him directly, right? Because you got to think, yes, you always are trying to prove yourself. Andy Reid's always trying to prove himself. But when you go to a Super Bowl, and like I said, a holding call away from being world champs, start out 10-1, and then when you try to look at the roster next year, Jason Kelsey's probably retired. Fletcher Cox is up for a new deal. Graham's up for a new deal. Johnson might retire or get a new deal. And salary cap issues with A.J. Brown having an attitude problem. How much proving can he do with a depleted potentially roster and salary cap issues?
All of it. All of it. Every coach worth a plug nickel. Every coach proves every play call, every practice, every drill, every deal that you make, every deal you acquire, every transaction, every coach at the top level of any sport has to reprove all the time. The fact that you said that you have to reprove meant that somebody told you that, and you forgot,
or you felt like
you thought I'm bigger than the game.
And then I think really, and I can't speak for Philly, but when I hear it and look at the roster, because everything has to be within reason, right?
Yeah.
When A.J. Brown probably be traded, and then all the other guys, Hall of Fame guys, where you think Johnson and Kelsey for sure all Hall of Famers, Fletcher Cox a great defensive tackle, and Brandon Graham a stalwart for 12 years there with Philly, probably all gone, along with some other small pieces. I think they're talking to him about the everyday process of proving yourself again as a leader and a coach versus DP, the X's and O's, because they feel like if they can get him to be the coach that he was 2 years ago, the wins and losses will take care of itself.
He knows the game.
Right.
Like there's not a game situation that he hasn't been in.
Right.
And with the type of player that he's going to deal with.
Right.
All of that just means that you took a step back.
Yeah.
And didn't execute.
Right.
You weren't worthy of what you should have been.
Right.
Like you were in place. Again, who's been in more places than Vic Fangio?
Right. He's like the hired sniper. He goes from head coach to defensive coordinator extraordinaire. The Dolphins, acted like, they got a head coach, part two.
Yeah.
And that lasted a year. Kind of like how Greg Williams and Jim Schwartz, sometimes you need to go to a place and reinvent yourself. So it's going to be interesting to see what Vic Fangio does differently with this Philadelphia defense that's not going to be as talented as that Dolphin defense that he's just leaving.
Right.
And what was the reasons behind it? And it goes both ways. And what are the reasons that are behind it? Do they come with him to Philly? Now, I don't think Vic Fangio is a malcontent or something like that, but there had to be some or too much blame placed at his feet. I do know Vic that much. He is very realistic.
We had the Charlotte connection, right? So you knew the stories and had the experience. I think some of it is this. There are times, and you get mad at me when I say it, but there are times when elite players need a grown-up in the room.
Right.
You don't need your boy.
Right.
You don't need Brian Johnson cool. You don't need somebody that you feel like, one, I was a better quarterback than you were. Right? And you've been in the room where a player looked at the coach and said, hey, wait, what do you know about how I'm supposed to get through the toughest, most difficult part of my career. You never had to.
And you ain't never coached before.
You ain't never coached before. Or you've never coached at this level.
Right.
Some of it removes the
All
nonsense,
that nonsense.
and all that
the questioning and stuff
all
like
that
that.
conversation is like, well, wait a minute, you've never done it.
Right.
Okay, guess what? Here's how this is going to work.
Right.
And the moment that you state that and then execute that, everything becomes simple.
Yeah, I think also for Sirianni, you couldn't turn around and hire a young coach. You got to go get an established, especially defensive coach, because you have to project or assume the defense is going to be depleted from a talent level just because of salary cap issues. You can't bring them all back. It was this last year, and this is why it was so disappointing. They brought guys back at really high salaries, didn't renegotiate a lot of their salaries because they were going into the last year. They pushed all their chips into the center of the table, and for whatever reason, they faltered down the stretch. And so when you're in management, whether you're Howie Roseman or Laurie, you have to look, okay, well, then it has to start somewhere. Where I think they missed the beat a little bit and didn't recognize probably preseason and offseason is that you lost both of your coordinators that are now head coaches. And so you lost the rhythm, you lost the play calling. It could be the playbook could be the same. The play caller in that sense, especially with a young aspiring quarterback, ascending quarterback, is crucial. So it would be interesting to see what happens next year in Philly.
Here's what I'll ask you before we go to break. Does Philly have enough talent to be the best team in the NFC? They've already proven that, right?
No. We got breaking news. Jim Harbaugh officially, now Adam Schefter is pretty reliable. Jim Harbaugh has decided to leave Michigan and be the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. That baby blue in that lightning bolt is going to be huge.
Wait a minute.
What's up?
That's the sound of Michigan fans.
Oh, nobody cares. Listen, when you win a national championship and people really don't even put you on your parade, it shows you where Michigan is.
Rings.
So
I hope they get. I hope they get moissanite rings.
Well, Jim Harbaugh and them did it right. They had their celebration right away. I think it was time. I did. I mean, I really think. I think being close to the Vikings organization with my dad, knowing how close he was to becoming the Vikings head coach.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, and always being, in the NFL, those talks in your name just doesn't get picked out of the sky or the hair, or the air. And I think Michigan saw it coming. They probably did him a solid because they kind of, I wouldn't say sold their soul for a national championship, but they say, all right, look, you got us a national championship, and that's all they wanted. Now we'll see what the ramifications are. And I'm going to ask you this, DP, before we go to break and think about it, and then we'll turn it over to the pre-match show. Will Jim Harbaugh leaving to the NFL change what potentially could happen down the road from the NCAA? You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes out of sight, out of mind, it could get a little bit softer. He's in the NFL. You don't want to really penalize the coach or the kids or the programs that they're in the present time. That's why it's so weird. It takes you 5 years to kind of come to a decision. Think about that. We're going to go to break. DP, Jay Foreman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and Jay. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through January 28th, enjoy Lincoln's favorite USDA Choice Bacon Wrapped Sirloin Fillets for just $3.99 per 8-ounce cut. All natural whole Boston butt for $1.49 per pound, and lumberjack pellets for $7.99 per 20-pound bag. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of freezing rain and freezing drizzle with more fog and freezing fog. We'll see a high around 35. Tonight, a slight chance of freezing drizzle and more fog with the low around 33. And tomorrow, a slight chance of freezing rain, more freezing drizzle with the high of around 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Kleckner for 93.7 Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through January 30th is $2 off Steakhouse Burgers and buy one Urban Slicer Pizza Works dough, get an Urban Slicer Pizza Works pizza sauce for free. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
I see the future in our public school classrooms every day. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I also see how critically important parent and community support is to our students' success. Support your public schools. Get involved. Form a business school partnership or become a school volunteer. Great schools and great communities work hand in hand.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Last segment before we turn it over to the pre-match show, pre-game show with DP and Coach Renee Saunders. This is Jay Foreman. This is old school. We are up here at the CHI Center. Obviously, I left DP with a little bit of something to think about. As the energy is starting to pick up, you got people coming in. Obviously, both teams are starting to warm up, so the excitement is in the air. And but with that being said, DP, the breaking news before we went to break was Jim Harbaugh, finally making a decision, which needed to for recruiting purposes and also to do right by Michigan. Decided to be the Los Angeles Chargers head coach moving forward. And I wanted to ask you, in the future, do you think the impact of Jim Harbaugh not being there in the brick and mortar will lessen the blow, if there is a blow coming from the NCAA in the near or distant future?
Well, I mean, we've seen this movie before. We've seen it before.
Yeah.
We saw it at Michigan before. We saw it at Ohio State. What happens when you pull the head off and expect the body to work and function as it did? It's entirely different to have coaches walk into the houses across America without Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
There aren't many Jim Harbaughs.
No.
And you understand this. Until 3 years ago, Jim Harbaugh wasn't good enough to walk into those gyms,
he had to
into
take
those
a pay
houses,
cut and
put,
all
right,
that stuff.
you couldn't do it. So yes, it changes no matter who they get. And the real thing that has to be determined, just get a shirt and say, Michigan, who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? Are you?
Well, I think whoever they hire.
Are you disappointed in what you did?
Yeah. Doubtful.
Right. Who are you?
Right.
That's going to be the question.
Right.
Those are the things that we're going to find out here shortly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see who they hire and do they hire. Sharon Moore obviously had a little bit of a, I call it a Cliff Notes version of what it's like to be a head coach under extreme, pressure situations. Not once, but twice, but 3 times. And maybe he had remember they did a rotation at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. Do they try to go down and get Brian Kelly, from LSU with a little bit of Michigan ties? Do they try to go and make another splash and then make another huge move? Because you got to think, when you're defending national champion, no matter how you got here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super seniors, having a encyclopedia of people's plays from 3 years to be able to curve the learning curve for your offense and defenses. You have a standard of doing things, because no matter what, you can't deny the talent that was on the field for Michigan, and how well they were coached and what great players. That's why I think the whole, the scheme they were doing was probably unnecessary. With that being said, it'll let you know what Michigan really thinks about themselves as far as, are we an elite program and we're here to stay and we will deal with the ramifications moving forward, or will we try to promote and build up Sharon Moore and we're starting over after hitting the apex after a long 7 years tumultuous tenure of one of our own, Jim Harbaugh? Are we trying to reshape our Michigan program moving forward?
You didn't change regents, and you didn't change athletic directors.
Right.
That's what I'm going to say about that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going to say about that.
It'll be interesting also to hear the names, because that'll let you know a little bit who they might look at and what they're trying to do moving forward. And I don't even really think right now, DP, they don't know. I think they knew, right? It's kind of like one of those things. They knew that the breakup was coming or whatever, but until it becomes factual, when they get the reality, and I'm sure Jim Harbaugh sent a text, right? I'm out of here. The reality is set up there in Ann Arbor. But with that being said, old school, we're going to take off here. We're going to turn over to DP and Coach Renee Saunders for the pregame show, Supernovas, Game 1 of the Pro Volleyball Federation League against the Atlanta Vibe. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Continue to tune in. 93.7 The Ticket, flagship of the Omaha Supernovas. We'll holler at you tomorrow.